So guys, Sheryl Swoopes was not commentating today. Sheryl Swoopes was not commentating today. And during the game, she was live retweeting like stuff about people harassing her and that it was just unhinged. Some stuff. And also like some other stuff about the game. She was not live tweeting the game, but like basically almost live tweeting the lead up to the game about some other stuff. And it was Nancy Lieberman, who is a Hall of Famer, I think, in her own right. It's not like she's was a bad player by any means. Like, she played, crazily enough, she played for the Detroit Shock when she was 50. She played at 50 while she was a coach, and she was a coach of the Sacramento Kings. She was a WNBA champion. Obviously, her career was mostly in the 70s and the 80s. But this is what she said about the whole situation. And if you agree with this, and you're happy she was on the broadcast rather than Sheryl Swoopes, subscribe. We're trying to hit 30.6 thousand subscribers as soon as possible. Right now, we are only 16 off. But this is what she said.
You know, when I walked in here before the game, there were just hundreds of fans lined up.
Oh, yeah.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational. And I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
She genuine, like, that is a shot at Sheryl Swoopes. And I think the most, like, obviously, it is one of the things where you're like, she is so much in the wrong, obviously Sheryl Swoopes is. And the point where they're all going to be multimillionaires because of Caitlin Clark is the truth. That is the biggest thing, is that you are costing yourself a hell of a lot of money. And even like the Satou response is hilarious. Satou, obviously it's annoying because there are way too many Caitlin Clarks, but kudos. I feel like our Dallas fans could have done better. I had mixed feelings seeing all the Caitlin jerseys, but it's an amazing sign for women's basketball. And look, again, Satou's someone that, like, I'm a fan of Satou. I'm a fan of Satou as a player. I'm a fan of Satou as a person in general. Came from Germany. I've been following her career since her sister dominated in the freaking European under-18s back in Ireland back in 2017. She was MVP of the championship and Germany beat Ireland. But it is funny because if you look at Twitter, there are the same group of people. They're the same group of people that are like saying that Nancy was the one in the wrong and that Sheryl Swoopes is Sheryl Swoopes is was being disrespected by Nancy and all this stuff, and Nancy was too much of a Caitlin Clark homer. You need Sheryl Swoopes as a home commentator. And it's like, no. At the end of the day, the Dallas Wings know as well as anyone else does that you do not want to be not only like, but this is the maddest thing, is like what's happening to Sheryl Swoopes. I'm looking at reading these tweets, and I'm like, these are from accounts called, these are literally just accounts that are dedicated to hating Caitlin Clark. And my favorite part about this is that when Sheryl Swoopes wants to lie about Caitlin Clark, people will be like, oh, legends, it's okay with legends. Or she's a legend, you can't talk down on her, which, look, Sheryl Swoopes one of the greatest ever. Do not get it twisted. Do not think that insulting Sheryl Swoopes, or not insulting, criticizing her basketball takes and criticizing her basketball ability are go hand in hand, because they don't. She was one of the greatest ever, but like, and if Caitlin Clark is the career Sheryl Swoopes has done, she's had a brilliant career. But at the same time, like, come on. So Nancy Lieberman, a Hall of Famer, one of the all-time best players, female players of all time. So what she says now doesn't matter because, you know, she's just a legend. She's a legend. She was a has-been. She was never as good as Sheryl Swoopes. My favorite thing is that Nancy Lieberman wasn't an NBA. She wasn't a WNBA champion. Yeah, she played in the WNBA when she was 50. But I'm happy out. I'm happy that was said. I'm happy with the commentary. And look, there's a difference between being pro Caitlin Clark for no reason, and there's a difference between like even when people thought it was all hype. There's a difference between, say, being a Caitlin Clark homer at the start of the year. There's a difference between maybe being a Caitlin Clark truther at the time, but what didn't seem like a truther, a Caitlin Clark fanatic in the first 9 games, where it really was a case where it just wasn't gelling. Whether it was her fault or whether it was the team's fault, it just was not gelling. And I think we can all of us of sound mind could admit that it just was not working. Something was not working. And probably partially Caitlin's fault, definitely a lot of the fault of her teammates. But now that it's clicked, we're now looking at the best rookie, one of the best rookies ever, playing on a team with one of the best shooting guards in the W and that are firing on all cylinders. So I think if you are criticizing Caitlin Clark at this point in time, heck, the last words Sheryl Swoopes has spoken about Caitlin Clark were to imply, not say, because I'm not going to do an L. Duncan, I'm not going to say it, were to imply her and Katie Lou Samuelson were of equal importance to the Fever. Katie Lou Samuelson is worse than Christy Wallace. I'm sorry, Katie Lou, you seem like a lovely person, but just as far as impact at the minute, you're playing worse than what Christy Wallace was as a starter. And then said all she does is pass. Caitlin Clark is averaging like 26 points per game post-Olympic break. She's averaging 26 points a game. For someone who all she does is pass, it's fine. But, you know, I'm guessing she's averaging 26 points a game because she's shooting 40 shots. Like you said she did in college. Oh, wait. No, she's not. But it is good. Like, it's good they didn't have Sheryl Swoopes on, because it would have been funny. It would have been very funny listening to Sheryl Swoopes being silent. It would have been very funny seeing Sheryl Swoopes just criticize Caitlin Clark and refuse to talk about her 28 and 12 and only talk about the 7 turnovers. Like, that would have been very, very fun. But obviously that didn't happen. But at the same time, it was good that she wasn't on commentary, because we actually didn't have to think about the commentators for the whole game. Either way, though, fun game. Fun out game. Whatever side you were on, it was a fun game. Maybe not if you're a Dallas fan, but actually, it's fun for even Dallas fans, you're probably thinking it's an enjoyable game. The only people that wasn't enjoyable for were the people that hate watch Caitlin Clark, because it's getting really hard to do that. Like, the last time you could really get away with hate watching Caitlin Clark was a game where she only had 19, 5, and 5. And that's where you can get a lot of the hate watching Caitlin Clark is a freaking 19, 5, and 5 game. A stat line that would get on, if she did average of the season, would get her all WNBA first team. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.